Sure. So I'm Matt Lindsay. I'm co-owner and CFO of Autopilot in Bozeman, Montana.
My name is Nathaniel De Castle. I work for Autopilot and I'm a machinist here, just doing everything I can to make good parts and using ProShop to do that.
So Autopilot specializes in precision manufacturing for a variety of industries, namely commercial, aerospace, and the outdoor industry. We provide some design consulting, prototyping work, full CNC mill and lathe machining, as well as sub-assemblies and anodizing.
I've been a machinist off and on for about 7 years, and the things that I love the most about manufacturing is probably the fact that you get to see behind the scenes and make things that, you know, people envision come to life. I've been working here just around 7.5 months.
Autopilot was not using any formal system prior to ProShop. We, like a lot of other shops, I imagine, were using a variety of paper job travelers, Excel spreadsheets, tribal knowledge, notebooks, shoved in a corner here and there, and it just wasn't working. We were introduced to ProShop at an aerospace conference. There was a live demo on the floor, and right away, we saw the vision, saw how that could be integrated right into Autopilot. Everything from quoting and estimating, purchase orders, having all those tied together, linking supplier purchase orders to job travelers, attaching material certs to those as well. It was just great. We jumped right on it. We did not go through an extensive research process, evaluating other ERP systems. We had looked at a few over the years. They just weren't really tailored to what we were looking for, kind of oriented more to bigger shops, or really not precision manufacturing companies. Talked to a few existing ProShop customers just to get a little bit of a sense for how they were using it, and it didn't take long to make the decision. One of the key factors that we elected to go with ProShop, again, just having everything integrated, namely the QMS system. We knew we were, at the time, going to pursue our AS9100 certification. So just having all that information right there, not just the daily production, the daily work orders and all the information that goes with that, but linking in the quality system, in time, in process, in CRs, the ability to link that directly to a work order, causes and what did we do about it, things of that nature just, was just really the selling point for us. Yeah, so the process of kind of going through the onboarding, we didn't know what to expect. We were paired up with Michael Collins, as our onboarding technician. He was our trainer, and really kind of eased us into it. A lot of behind the scenes things before we even went live. Getting our customer list, getting a list of equipment, CNC machines, etc. that we had on the floor. So that would already be uploaded when we went live, and then just the process of having weekly meetings. We're going to take care of this, and then make sure that we had that done, mark it as complete as if it were a true work order in ProShop, and then on to the next thing. Just the weekly training process, and then the ability to call up and have those training meetings recorded. If we forgot something, to go back and say, well, it's not worth Michael's time for us to call him up. I know it's right there, probably about halfway through that video that we did or that training session. So it was really great. Yeah, the onboarding training was easier than we thought. It was tailored specifically to us. We could speed up or slow down depending on if there was a module or a section that we really weren't grasping, or if we got it real quick, we could just kind of skim over it and move on to the next topic. So we brought ProShop on board with the training in August of 2019, and we made a commitment to ourselves and our team that January 1st of 2020, we would use it to go live. You know, we still were kind of limping and had as a crutch in the background some of our other systems, but we took those 4 months to really kind of upload everything into ProShop, get it set up and ready as we were going through the training. So we were ready to hit the ground running January 1st of that year. We probably replaced a dozen, if not more, different, inventory management systems and Excel workbooks to track our purchase orders and physical binders to keep our material certifications. So we probably had a dozen plus. The first time we started using ProShop, the first feature that we really realized this was it was just the real-time capabilities. You know, if I had a customer call up, ask about status of an order, historically I'd have to take their name and number, hang up the phone, go down to the shop floor, get a rough estimate, call them back if I remembered to. And the ability to call up ProShop live on the phone with them, see, were we X amount of parts through op 2, and so therefore, we still have a couple days left. Just the ability to have everything in real time with a work order was the first feature when we knew, yep, this is it. ProShop has streamlined our office operations quite a bit. The fact that we can run payroll through the time tracking feature and modules, dump it into QuickBooks, having that integration with QuickBooks Online. Really scheduling has been great too. Scheduling and being able to drag and drop on the fly various jobs and work orders, assign them to different machines. With our old system, which was essentially an Excel workbook, trying to schedule, if you move one little thing one way, the rest of the schedule just kind of imploded upon itself. And so the ability to drag and drop, right from the office, not from the shop floor, and move the schedule around is very powerful for us. We've seen a reduction in lead time, just getting the order, getting the paperwork together. What used to take an hour or two physically printing off job travelers and putting them down on the shop floor and printing off the drawings and the inspection criteria, ordering the material and going back to find that job traveler to dump the cert into that into the sleeve of the job traveler. A couple clicks of the button now and everything is just right there. So being able to take the job, assign it to various machines, programmers and machinists, order material right there, it's definitely cut down our lead time. ProShop has been very helpful on the shop floor, the ability to call up the work order right from the schedule at the machine that you're working on, having the correct revision drawing at your hands, having the inspection criteria preloaded into ProShop, specifically broken up into the operation that you're working on. And again, the folks on the shop floor, the ability to create an NCR is very easy. We tell our folks all the time, it's not a bad thing to create an NCR. In fact, it's a good thing. It's you click a couple buttons here and there. Those that need to know are alerted. If we have a follow-up, we can come and figure out, do a little fact finding, but very easy for our operators and machinists to use it on the floor. We have not lost a work order or a job traveler on the shop floor in quite some time. So, having everything on the computers and being able to pull it up and not have to look at a greasy, coolant spilled, piece of paper that's wrinkled and was tucked behind a machine. That's, we don't miss that. We've experienced setup time reduction. Again, tribal knowledge, like most shops have. We're running this job, and Joe is the guy who knows how to set that up, but he's off elk hunting or on family vacation, so we can't set up that job anymore until he comes back. Having everything just on ProShop at the part level. So what we're trying to do is any operator off the street with appropriate training can walk up to that work order, pull it up, look at the written instructions, the setup instructions. Some people are visual learners, so attaching photos and videos of what we're trying to convey. Other folks just like to read it and go for it, but having all that information just right there has definitely helped reduce our setup time.
Setting up a machine and a specific work order is pretty fluid using ProShop. There's comments from previous machinists that did the setup, and there's often photos and stuff like that that kind of help you and guide you to get the best result and the quickest result possible. Yeah, I'd say the setups probably go a lot faster, in my opinion. Just especially with setups you've never done before, they definitely go faster.
We've seen a lot of efficiencies having it. We run 2 shifts, a morning shift and an afternoon shift. And so even the handoff of information when somebody comes in to take on the second shift, they can dialogue a little bit with the first shift person who was running that machine, but having all that information, having a tie-in sheet, having, what's working about that particular job, part, machine, etc., and then having the work instructions there has definitely helped, just keep things moving for us. So we use a lot of photos and videos in our written setup instructions, namely in assembly. We've got a lot of complex, very precision parts that we're putting together that require very repeatable actions. Some folks in assembly and other parts of the shop floor respond better to written descriptions. Others are more visually oriented, so having photos of those descriptions, videos that they can kind of watch until they get the hang of it has been very helpful. Since having ProShop, we have definitely seen a reduction in scrap rate, NCRs, RMAs, etc. We have fully integrated our quality management system within ProShop. So from having that real-time information on the shop floor, operators creating NCRs as they happen, and quality technicians kind of swooping in to diagnose that, find the root cause analysis is really helpful. We can make corrective changes on the fly and get the machines back up and running again. And then kind of bigger picture, cars and pars, supplier cars, having that information, again, linked to particular work orders if we need to. Just having all that information has been very helpful.
So on ProShop, one key differentiation from doing it on paper is that if you write down the wrong number, it's going to immediately tell you whether or not an NCR is required, non-conformance report. And whereas like on paper, you write down the wrong number, maybe it's a mistake, or maybe the part is truly bad. There's no real accountability on that paper to do a non-conformance report. So I think there's a lot of good confidence in quality and accountability.
So files and data in terms of organization and management, we had a Google Drive, which we still maintain for kind of some offline stuff. But again, having, I'm thinking, for example, the most up-to-date 3D models and part drawings from customers, purchase orders, just having all that information not just tacked on to the work order, but saved in a file structure within ProShop as a backup. Peace of mind for me as an owner, and just knowing that it's there. It's been proven, so having that additional file structure has been helpful. Like a lot of shops, we had different file structures all over the place. Customer part files were in 2 different places, and trying to figure out which rev was correct, the most up to date, was mildly frustrating. So having just one central repository to go to and have all that up to date information, it saves time. So we do a lot of first article reports depending on customer need. So when we track in-process checks, we've got first article checks, not just by the operator or the setup technician, having additional backup quality checks by the quality tech, and then a second opinion, checking all that off just to make sure we've got everything squared away has been helpful. We're doing in-process checks on almost every job. And then when we go to finalize the first article report, having all that information right there, a couple clicks of the button, it pulls in all the material certs, it pulls in any special processes that we had. So just being able to dump everything into that report has been very helpful.
So we do our first articles on ProShop along with our in-process checks.
Compiling our first article reports these days with ProShop has been very, very simple. We take in-process checks at the machines. We've got our setup machinists and our operators trained to take the first article inspection in conjunction with our quality technician. So once all those dimensions are inputted into ProShop, we do the production job. It's really a couple clicks of the button to get our first article report generated and compiled. It pulls any outside processing certs in there, pulls material certs, and just has all that information right at our fingertips. So the actual process of generating that report is very, very simplified. What probably took us about an hour and a half, 2 hours to physically generate a first article report prior to ProShop, I'm going to say now it takes us maybe 10 minutes. 8 of those is finding somebody to sign off on it. So prior to ProShop, scheduling was moving some Excel blocks around and figuring out what machine was open and who was going to run them. Really no clarity in terms of on-time delivery or when that part was going to ship. Once we got on board with ProShop, just seeing where we are, pulling up the work order and seeing where we are in that particular job, looking at the schedule, which is updated in real time, has definitely helped us to just increase our throughput and get parts out the door quicker. Adapting to ProShop, we thought was going to be a pretty big culture shift. This is a big deal for our shop, which has been the fairly archaic paper job travelers, tribal knowledge, etc. So we were ready for some pushback from our shop floor folks, going from paper to digital. There wasn't any. In fact, it surprised us. Everybody jumped on board. Even more so, some of the older folks that have been in the business longer. We kind of figured some of the younger machinists and operators would, jump all over the new shiny technology. But in fact, it was some of the folks that have been in the industry for quite a bit that really took to it, which was helpful as they kind of, served as a mentor to some of those younger folks. The younger folks saw the more seasoned vets taken to it and really jumped on it. So we didn't have much pushback. So going from your paper job traveler to an electronic work order on ProShop has been great for us. Number one, it looks clean. We walk out into the shop and it's actually a helpful sales tool. We have folks coming through, prospective clients. They see a bunch of computer screens at the machines and they see work orders being updated in real time. We get that wow factor. So it's been a good selling point for us, and just having all that information just at our fingertips, not trying to track down where an actual physical paper job traveler went. I can't speak enough to how much that has helped us.
Paper travelers are probably a physical manifestation of chaos. So working at a paper-based traveler shop is a lot more chaotic than working with a shop that uses ProShop. When talking to somebody that works at a paper traveler shop, I'd probably tell them that organization and just getting different quality-based systems implemented is just so much easier. Like getting the audit for AS9100, it's not easy, but it makes it a lot easier to do just because everything is there. Revs change immediately, globally, I guess, and you don't have to continually be printing out different things, so you're saving the environment in one way or another.
So when we have customers make a change order to a purchase order, be it quantity or ship dates, etc., a little bit of homework and activity goes on in the office to make sure we've got everything up to speed on our end. A couple clicks of the button, that updates the work order in real time. Oftentimes we'll go and explain the information to whoever's working on that job that, hey, notice that we're now producing 750 parts, not 550. And oftentimes they'll say, yep, we saw that. Or the ability, when a new print is uploaded, a lot of different warnings and pop-ups, kind of hit you in the face in a good way. When you go there as an operator to log back into that job, you'll be notified right away a new print has been issued, a new rev on that print has been issued. So just having that in their face has been great, and just being able to kind of adapt and roll on the fly. So we've actually utilized ProShop as number one, a sales tool for prospective customers. We get the wow factor. They're used to seeing in some of our competing shops the paper travelers and kind of the messy shop floors. And so when new customers walk in and they see a pretty modern shop floor, we've got some cobots, we've got nice clean workstations, and they see the ProShop screens right there, all the information being issued and disseminated real time. They get it. They see the value to that. And then on a separate topic, we recently went through our Stage 2 AS9100 audit, and the auditor, we got a lot of, wow, what is this thing called again? ProShop, yeah, I love it. He had not seen ProShop before and was just very impressed, just the ability to, if he was asking for a specific document or piece of paper, expecting that, well, I'll be back in half an hour as I pull it out of a file drawer. Just a couple clicks of the button and having that real time, he was greatly impressed. So ProShop has definitely helped us prepare for external audits and internal audits. Again, just having all the information linked together. When we go through our quality manual, and we can actually link certain parts of that to our quality procedures, then have our training and certain tasks and documentation and forms right under there, eliminates stacks of binders that we used to have to comb through, and something as simple as being able to search throughout ProShop, keyword search and find what you're looking for instead of flipping through a document or a binder to find that. It helped us. I don't know how many dozens of hours we saved in preparation for our AS9100 audit, and then during the live audit, having all that information at our fingertips. We knew exactly, where to find it, how to get to it, and some of that backup information that was needed for it. So what would have taken us a couple hours a week historically in just maintaining our quality management system in terms of, making sure we've got material certifications on file and we've got training documents signed off on. We do that stuff anyways, and having it already embedded in ProShop doesn't add us any extra time, per week. So we've gone from, do the math, a couple hours a week times 52 weeks a year times however, a couple years. So spending a couple hours a week over the course of the year versus what we're doing with paperless ProShop, really has saved a whole lot of time on our end. When we're interviewing new hires, we'll take them typically on a tour of the shop flow, and we absolutely highlight ProShop, the ability to utilize and track information. Nobody that we've had in has seen it before in terms of potential employees, and the wow factor is there. They think it's pretty neat just having all that information right there within the work order in terms of inspection, the part drawing, the various operations that make up that part. So it's definitely been a helpful tool in terms of recruiting.
Quite honestly, I found it a little intimidating, but at the same time, I found it refreshing that recording our quality at kind of a real-time pace was held to kind of like a high standard.
We historically push new employees out onto the shop floor pretty quickly, trial by fire, but just having the training and the documentation and all that information within ProShop as they go. We'll send them out and have them kind of shadow somebody on the floor, but then having ProShop as a backup training tool in terms of, okay, are they now trained up and allowed to work on XYZ machine? Okay, can they now go to the next level? Just having all that. The date and time stamp of when they were approved on that various task or training document is definitely very helpful. So ProShop has actually been a helpful source in the labor environment that we're seeing currently. Historically, we like to hire folks with a little bit of experience, train them on the go, but we can't be picky in this time right now. So we've actually been able to use ProShop to hire people with no qualifications, no experience, I should say, to come in, utilizing ProShop as a tool to onboard and train and help teach new employees as they're hitting the shop floor. Quoting is a feature that we could absolutely not go away from. Just having all that information real time and being able to quote various scenarios, utilizing different machines, different operations, and having all that information just pop up right there. We feel very confident in our quoting with ProShop. The ability to turn that into a quote to generate and push out to a customer. And then hopefully if we win the purchase order, all that information's embedded in there already. We don't have to go and re-estimate what the cycle time or setup time was, programming time, etc. We can tweak it as we go, but having all that information kind of flow up to the customer purchase order when we create a part, when we make a work order, that saves a lot of time on our end.
Yeah, I think the time tracking's a essential thing that I really like. You can kind of see how you're falling short of the mark or how you're exceeding the expectations of kind of like the setup or the parts you've ran within a certain time frame. And then along with that goes the time clock punch. I think is pretty handy because if you forget to clock in, maybe
So we've probably seen throughput increase as well as revenue by about 50% since we've had ProShop. It's slightly more machines, slightly more people, but I would say ProShop is probably the number one thing that we can point to that's led to our improved efficiency. Having real-time information as an owner and manager of the company, just being able to know where we sit on a certain job, can we fit the next job in on that machine? Do we need to kind of look at a different level of operations to get that in? So it's been helpful for me as we're quoting work and pursuing new work to make sure, does it fit in behind? Can we utilize that? So having that real-time feature has been the most helpful aspect. I would probably estimate just using ProShop, we've probably seen an increase in efficiency on a per spindle basis, probably about 25%, just in terms of setup time, having all that information right there, and not passing pieces of paper around the shop. That's been about a 25% reduction in setup time and increased efficiency. Yeah, if I could go back in time, I would not spend any time at all debating on whether to move from a paper system to a paperless system like ProShop. I mean, it just, it's a no-brainer. But I would estimate, our return on investment for ProShop itself has been at least 3 times what we spend on it per month, just in terms of the reduction in paperwork administratively in the office, reduction in setup time on the shop floor. I mean, we definitely get our return on investment with ProShop. We never did it. I've seen some customers of yours that have, we saved $50,000 a year on reduced overnight shipping costs. We never really tracked that, but I can tell you just ProShop saves us from those emergency situations, overnight shipping or paying an expedite fee for an outside processing item. Just the ability to kind of have a good look at the horizon, utilizing ProShop and avoid those what I'll call emergencies. I would definitely say there's less stress in our company utilizing ProShop. We're a fast-paced company. We've got a lot of parts coming in and going out. So there's a good feel down there on the shop floor. But having all that information, I as an owner know I can walk in every morning, be able to call up whatever I want, get an answer right away. So that has definitely kept my stress level down. So personally, utilizing ProShop and the fact that it's web-based and I can pull up the same information I can here in the office on a trout stream or on a ski slope on my couch, and know that it's the same information, and feel confident and comfortable where the shop is at any given time, personally has been a really good thing for me.
ProShop has made my job less difficult by kind of having a central location where I can go and document everything, whether it be my time tracking or my clock in punch to my in-process checks, to also looking at how other people implement their setups. And I think that's streamlined a lot of processes.
So I would say, talking to anybody in the industry, recommending ProShop, the way that it's worked for us, and the idea behind ProShop, the fact that it was created by folks from industry, not just huge manufacturing companies, small, medium-sized manufacturers, that resonated with us. And I would absolutely mention that to any of my peers in the industry. So one thing I love about ProShop being a chief financial officer is the ability to track on a per work order basis profitability of a job. Since having ProShop, it's been helpful for us to look at our historic work level. It's been somewhat surprising to see some jobs that we thought were profitable really aren't so profitable, and other jobs that we were kind of almost willing to ditch and pass on really truly are profitable jobs within our company. So having all the costing data in terms of labor, material, tooling, having all of that identified within a work order has been very eye-opening, and it's really kind of changed the way that we evaluate future work within Autopilot. So one of the big things that we like about ProShop, not only is it our manufacturing engine within Autopilot, but having all the financial items and the accounting part and aspect to it integrated, it's really just all-encompassing. So pulling up all the various dashboards within ProShop, what does sales look like? What were sales last week versus what did we get in this time last year? It's really helpful in terms of the financial component for us to get a good pulse how financially healthy our company is. Competitive advantage is tough to find these days, but we feel utilizing ProShop and having our company, really use that as our engine, absolutely is a competitive advantage. I would definitely say the value of Autopilot has increased since using ProShop. Yeah, Autopilot is absolutely more prepared for growth utilizing ProShop in the future than it was historically. Yeah, we're very excited about the future here at Autopilot. We view ProShop as an integral part of that, but yeah, we're very excited. I absolutely love ProShop.
I love using ProShop.
So my name is Matt Lindsay, and Autopilot is powered by ProShop.